Hello, everybody. My name is MugiMikey, and this is
Nolan from the Pizza Party Podcast.
yes, Nolan from the Pizza Party Podcast. They like to eat pizza and have podcasts. And is there anything else that you guys like to do there that we should know
um,
about?
we mostly just talk about animation and all that other stuff, like cartoons. And we recently, we just recorded this today. I don't know when this will be up, but we just recently did a podcast with Your Movie Sucks. So go check that one out whenever it comes up.
Yeah, and he's known for his cool cat sucks videos, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, which are hilarious, by the way. But anyway, we're here today because we're going to talk about Sonic Adventure 3 and what it is exactly.
Yeah, the case of it and how it came to be.
Yes.
Sort
So,
of.
so first of all, we're going to start with the game. Okay, before we get into that, how about we address what you believe, Nolan, is Sonic Adventure 3?
Well, a lot of people would say Sonic Adventure 3 isn't out yet, and it is a game that Sega needs to make. No, they don't. And it's something that they really need to get on top of. But we already have Sonic Adventure 3, and some might go and say, oh, Sonic Unleashed was originally going to be Sonic Adventure 3? No, the Sonic Adventure 3 we have is Sonic 06. I'm sorry. Just take a deep breath. Just calm down. It's okay. It's okay. I'm here for you. We can get through this together.
Yes.
It'll be okay.
Yes, it'll be okay. No, but really, what Nolan is saying is true. Let me just stop you real quick. Sonic Unleashed was known as Sonic Adventure 3 early on in development, and a lot of people will use the Japanese title of the game, Sonic World Adventure, as the defense of that.
Yeah,
And
scapegoat.
Yeah, exactly. And arguably, well, not arguably, it's kind of factual. Sonic Unleashed is a better game than Sonic 06. The only person or the only place, company, what have you, that will disagree with you is IGN. But that's a whole nother story. But
Oh.
Sonic Unleashed is not a perfect game. I'll defend it because I have a ton of respect for it and what it did. But
Yeah.
it's not Sonic Adventure 3, and if it was, it branched off into something completely different. And the reason why we believe Sonic 06 is the true Sonic Adventure 3, or at least in spirit it's Sonic Adventure 3, is because it shares a lot more in common with Sonic Adventure 1 and Sonic Adventure 2 than Sonic Unleashed ever will or would.
Yeah, this is just pure speculation on my part, but with Sonic Unleashed, I feel like they just, we're going to attach the Sonic Adventure 3 moniker to it because, as this was after 06, and they were like, oh shit, we really fucked up. So they kind of were like, well, what can we do to get back into the good graces? And they thought, oh, Sonic Adventure 3, perfect. And then the more they worked on it, and they just kind of reduced the cast down to Sonic, they were like, oh, I guess this isn't really Sonic Adventure 3 anymore, is it?
Yeah, no. You're right. But I honestly think that early on in development, it was entirely possible for Sonic 06 to be known as Sonic Adventure 3. It's sort of probably like the case of Sonic 4, where Sega of Japan was working on a mobile game, and somebody from Sega of America said, hey, we should call it Sonic 4 because it would get sales. I believe that when it comes to Sonic 06, that they decided to change the name to Sonic the Hedgehog because what they were aiming for was something big for the 15th anniversary, a reboot of sorts.
Yeah, the whole goal behind naming it Sonic the Hedgehog was to be the reinvention, the rebirth of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
And that's also because it was going to be a next-gen Sonic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be kind of a devil's advocate here and say they never planned on calling it Sonic Adventure 3 because they were so busy making it a big, fucking ambitious, huge deal that they were like, you know what? This is going to be it. This is going to be the pinnacle of Sonic gaming.
Yeah,
Therefore, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, I think they had more confidence in that game during development than they ever did with Sonic Adventure 2. Sonic Adventure, I'm not so sure about because I know they put a lot of effort into that game. They went and traveled the world. They went to South America and other Latino countries to check out the landscape. They
Yeah.
took photos. They even put the little photos inside of the game as textures. That's dedication right there. But
Yeah, whether or not that actually ages well is another story. But
oh yeah, no, definitely. Sorry, I was getting off on a little another thing there, but
no, it's fine.
no, it's all about the effort and the ambition that they were putting into the project. You're probably right. To Sonic, not to Sonic, to Sega, Sonic 06 was probably a much bigger project than Sonic Adventure ever was, and that's what I was getting at.
Yeah, no, you're right. And what's really unfortunate with Sonic the Hedgehog is that, or Sonic 06 rather, is that it was just marred by mismanagement. I'd say is the primary thing. I mean, I'm no Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic 06 expert here, but it definitely was a matter of the company just poorly managing resources and forcing it out when it's clearly not ready. Half the reason the game is so unfinished is because they were developing it, and then the Wii became a huge overnight success. And then Sega was like, "Hey, Sonic 06 team," and they're like, "Yeah, what? We're gonna take some of your team, and we're gonna move them over onto a Sonic Wii game. You still have to finish this project by the deadline. Okay, bye."
Yeah,
And
that we. Sorry, go on.
the Wii also affected a lot of a few other Sega titles. Like one instance is Knights. Knights was originally going to be a Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 game, the Journey of Dreams, the sequel.
Yeah.
And once the Wii became a huge overnight success, they were like, "Oh shit, dude, we gotta fucking cash in." So they hastily changed development to the Wii, and they did not. I think they extended the deadline by maybe 1 year, or it didn't at all, and they just had a year left. That part I forget. But basically, what happened was that Sega would just change teams around, not extend deadlines, and just rush out products just to get a quick buck, and then that led to their huge downfall today because now they only have $5. So
Yeah. Well, hey, at least that's more than Capcom. But
zing.
yeah. But anyway, I wanted to also mention that I also think that even if the game was finished, it would still be bad because
I kind of agree that it wouldn't be good, but I also would think it might have been better than Sonic Adventure 2.
that I'm unsure of. At least Sonic Adventure 2 had a decent story, decent characters, decent designs.
I honestly don't think so, because with Sonic Adventure 2, it's kind of this it's kind of an unfinished story. There are a few plot holes that just don't make any sense.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not denying that. I just mean in comparison, if Sonic 06 ever was finished, I still think it would be the better story.
No, that's fine. I mean, I'm not trying to discredit you or anything, but
right.
Well, I just think that Sonic 06's story is just so laughably bad that it's just entertaining in its own right. Because Sonic Adventure 2 does have, I guess, and I'm using the term very loosely, more competent story. Mm-hmm. But it's just kind of it has a few good set pieces, but other than that, it's just kind of eh. But with Sonic 06, it's literally just ridiculous melodrama the whole time, and all these terribly animated cutscenes with puppet arms and puppet legs, and bad voice acting "You're the aimless trigger," and it's just oh my god, it's so great.
If you turn off, I'm not saying this isn't directed towards you, but if you turn off the nostalgia goggles, Sonic Adventure 2 also has that. It has every single one of those problems.
It does, but it's not as I don't think it's as awful, because the deliveries in Sonic Adventure 2 are just really just flat and eh. But with Sonic 06, it's just whoa, what's going on? And it's just
what's going on?
Yeah, it's just people do not talk this way. And Elise. But yeah, and with Sonic Adventure 2, it's just all right, guys, we gotta go stop this guy. Yeah. And that was it. It was bad voice acting, but it was just bland.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like
But
nobody was hamming it up or anything, and maybe there was like a couple things like Terria, but
Terria! Yeah.
Terria.
I actually think that Ryan Drummond hammed it up as Sonic quite a bit during his run. But I
I think
also
that. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I wanted to say I'll give Sonic Adventure 2 the benefit of the doubt because at the time in 2001 compared to 2006, it did a much better job. It aged better than Sonic 06 ever will in terms of voice acting and a few other things here and there.
That's understandable. I can see how you feel that way.
Yeah.
And what I was going to say earlier was I feel like the Drummond you're talking about, the hamming it up as Sonic, it didn't come more until Heroes. Like, because I feel like it was kind of more subdued in the first two adventure games, and then with Heroes, he's just like, holy shit, guys, we gotta stop Eggman. Yes, come on, let's go. Teamwork.
Well, I also think he was like that in the first two. Of course, there's the watch out, you're gonna crash. Ah! And then there was, what you see is what you get. I'm just a guy who loves adventure.
True.
Things like that. It's littered throughout the whole game, both games. But yeah, it was definitely more. It was turned up more so in Sonic Heroes. But I wanted to say, I believe Sonic 06 was also the victim of the way Sega believed the stories, the tone of the stories should have been at the time. I believe it started with Sonic Adventure 2, and it was just it just was downhill from there. Sonic Adventure 2, they got their feet wet with a semi, I'm not even going to call it semi, but just a mildly dark story. A bunch of kids are going to be like, it's so mature. Sonic Adventure 2 is mature. You take that back. But, no, it tries too hard.
No, it's weird because in between Sonic Adventure 2 and Shadow the Hedgehog was Sonic Heroes, one of the more lighthearted games, and that's weird. And then it's just like they just ditched that. And I think I don't know if this is true. I think this might be a rumor, but I think like Iizuka got like a letter from a fan that said like, what if Sonic had a gun? And then he's like, oh. And I feel, I don't know. I mean, Iizuka has come up with many a bad plan for Sonic, and despite being there since the Genesis days, but
yeah,
I don't
Sonic
know.
3, I believe?
Yeah, Sonic 3, I think, was his first Sonic title, but no, again, I don't know if that's true or not. I read that somewhere.
I don't think it is because guns have been present in for playable characters since Sonic Adventure. There was Gamma, then there was Tails and Eggman. There weren't just handguns; they were all lasers. But still, they were guns. And Iizuka was not the head at the time of Shadow the Hedgehog. It was still Yuji Naka. If I remember correctly, he left during the middle of Sonic 06's development.
I think he left during Shadow.
No, I think he left during the middle of Sonic 06. I will go look that up, though.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the game that killed him. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Yuji Naka. He went on to make Rodea the Sky Soldier, a.k.a. Sonic Adventure Nights.
And Ivy the Kiwi.
Ivy the Kiwi. Yeah,
yes,
he did
that's
that too.
actually a fun little game. Yeah, he left during Sonic 06.
Okay, my bad.
No, it's okay.
So he had to okay Shadow the Hedgehog. He had to be like, okay.
Oh yeah, he was okay with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Good job, Naka. A+.
I think Shadow the Hedgehog was just their answer to what was getting popular at the time, which was usually the types of shooters and on Xbox and PlayStation, and then there's GTA that was also becoming very popular at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, after about 15 years, Yuji Naka decided to leave. So
he up and fucking died.
Yeah, it wasn't Iizuka. And I believe there was a game, I can't remember which one it was, but Sonic did say, "Oh, a gun. I would never get caught using one of those."
That was Shadow. He also said he also swears in it too.
Yeah. Well, they're mild swears. Damn, hell, but still. Yeah.
Which is the most jarring thing, hearing a 4Kids voice actor swear.
Yeah, that was the first game that they ever voiced in, too, for Sonic.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, it coincided with Sonic Rush, but, I mean, still.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. I think they came out on the same exact day. if I remember correctly. November 15th, 2005, I want to say. So what we're trying to say is we believe that Sonic 06 in spirit is Sonic Adventure 3.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry to burst your bubbles. I know there's a lot of people out there that deny it. It's all because of I mean, it is that game. It's everything that Sonic Adventure 3 would be, except the title. You've got multiple playable characters.
They introduced a new hedgehog.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they introduced Shadow in Sonic Adventure 2.
Yep.
Sonic 06, they introduced Silver.
Seriously, in spirit, it's the closest thing to Sonic Adventure 3 than any other game. Even Sonic Heroes, even Shadow the Hedgehog. And of course, it's so much closer to the adventure games than Sonic Unleashed.
Yeah, trying to think. Well, we should probably talk about and compare them to the other adventure games, yeah?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay. Because there is kind of quite a bit to talk about.
Okay.
All things considered, Sonic 06 was probably one of the most ambitious Sonic projects ever.
It was.
And so with that, they included multiple gameplay styles, multiple characters, this huge storyline, open worlds, and which is strange because they got rid of hub worlds in Sonic Adventure 2 to streamline it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then they brought them back in Sonic 06.
Yeah.
And
unfortunately, go on.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I wanted to say, unfortunately, even though I'll give Sega and Sonic Team credit for being so ambitious with Sonic 06, they were also their own worst enemy. They are responsible for the game turning out the way that it was. And I wonder if a game like that was released in this day and age, if they would fix it via patches, like they kind of did with Sonic Boom. What do you think?
That's a good point. There was this one joke on one of the Sonic blogs that run by Ruby Eclipse, Aaron Weber.
Yeah, the guy who's responsible for the Twitter page for Sonic.
Yeah, I think is that him?
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, he runs that. Yeah, that's him.
Oh my god, he's amazing.
Yeah.
He made there was a joke around Sonic the Hedgehog 4 where they posted a bunch of characters. They were like, no, this was around when they were going to announce new voice actors. He was like, what's that big they teased huge Sonic news, and they listed a bunch of joke bulletins, and one of them was, are you going to patch Sonic 06? So yeah, I guess that's I think that's always been a possibility. It's just that the technology is more readily available, I guess, and not newer.
Yeah. It's newer and it's expected now. It's not so new in the industry anymore. At the time, it was possible. Yeah. Especially since I believe the Wii U is just as strong or almost as strong, just around as strong as the 360 and PlayStation 3.
Which is a shame, but that's a story for another time.
Yeah.
But no, honestly, I think the game is just too broken.
Yeah. Well, so was Sonic Boom.
Well, yeah, but what if the patches? How have the patches substantially fixed the game?
Well, you can't
they re-rendered.
You can't use the Knuckles jump glitch anymore.
Yeah, they ironed out a few glitches and they re-rendered a cutscene, and that was it.
Yeah, all they did
was sprinkle.
All they did was put sprinkles on shit. That's all they did.
Exactly. So, with something as inherently broken as Sonic 06, how many fucking patches would it take?
Yeah, no,
they
would have to revamp the whole fucking thing.
Exactly. And it's not just the fact that it's a broken game, it's the fact that it's fundamentally flawed in design.
Mm-hmm.
Because
yes, exactly.
Because they Sonic games back in that era, and I mean to a degree, Sonic Lost World suffers from the same problem, is that Sonic games have a lot of fucking filler. And what I mean by that is they have a lot of gameplay mechanics or set pieces that just are there just to pad out the game.
Yeah, and they don't really contribute much.
Yeah, and I guess on minor offenses, Shadow's vehicle sections, there's no purpose for them being there. You could take them out. Nothing of value would be lost except for maybe a good chunk of a level. Even you can even just go on foot and like you wouldn't be. I think there's only like one or two times a vehicle is required to get past a stage, but then sometimes you can also glitch it.
Yeah.
So
it sort of reminds me of what Sega said about Sonic 4 at the time. They're like, "Oh, yeah, there's the homing attack, but I mean, you don't have to use it." Bullshit.
Yeah, no.
And it also reminds me of Sonic Unleashed. What you said about the filler. I believe it was Iizuka. He said that the Werehog was added so the game would feel longer.
Okay.
That's what he
yeah,
said.
that makes sense.
Otherwise, it would only be a few hours long. And look what happened in the next game.
Yeah. No, but I want to go back to Sonic 4 for a second, and I want to talk about something that was actually beneficial to the game's development.
Oh, really? Okay.
It leaked on Xbox PartnerNet or something.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it did.
Yeah. And everybody got into it, and they were like, holy shit.
Yes.
This is horrible.
Uh-huh.
And Sega was like...
They're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, they realized they done goofed, and they took out a lot of the filler, and, I mean, the physics still suck.
Yes, I remember the minecart stage.
The minecart stage, there was a pinball level where you had to rack up points. They took that out.
Yep.
They, I think they changed some of the level design to, like, incorporate less homing attack.
Yeah, but they retained it in the mobile version. I know that.
Oh, the minecart level?
Yes, they did. I'm not sure about the pinball stage. I don't remember. It's been so long.
Yeah, with the with the mobile version, I just don't understand how they thought it was a good idea that when Sonic runs a loop-de-loop, every loop-de-loop, the camera follows him, and the whole stage spins around, and it's just like, this is the true mobile experience.
It looked tacky. But speaking of experience, that was at the time Sega was like, oh, 19 years later, Sonic is returning back to his roots. That's a marketing campaign they use every single time. Back to his roots. The earliest I remember them saying that was, I believe, either Sonic Heroes or Sonic 06. But they said it for Unleashed. And then they said it for Sonic 4, as I've said. So they used it several times.
And sadly, the closest they've come to actually fulfilling that is Sonic 4, and we all know how that turned out.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't say it for Generations, but that also was closer.
That was very much nostalgia, guys. Come on, nostalgia.
Yeah, I mean, really,
it's a great game.
More Green Hill. We need more Green Hill. We'll forget about Green Hill if we don't keep having it every single game.
Yeah, I know. Might I just add that the 3DS version of Sonic Generations is one of the worst things I've ever played.
Yes, it's terrible.
Okay, no, like, they actually got the classic Sonic physics better, I think, than the console version.
That's just because it was a whole copy and paste. It was the Genesis game, but with a new coat of paint. That's all it was.
Yeah, I think that literally for classic stages, they recycled levels from every Sonic game.
They did. They are verbatim the same exact thing.
Yeah, no, but even, like, stages that go beyond the Genesis era, like, I think some of them were, like, copied.
Oh, and really? I didn't know that.
I think some of it felt very familiar to me, like maybe from the advanced games. I'm pretty sure there's something talking about it, but then Sonic's modern stages were just fucking atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Sonic Salt podcast, by the way.
Yeah, Sonic Salt podcast.
Salty about Sonic.
Salty the hijab.
So, yeah, but it's just so disappointing, like, because they were like, oh, we're gonna go into Sonic's handheld history. Bullshit. They had one fucking level from Sonic Rush, and that was it. And I'm just like,
but then they were also like, yeah, but the handheld version of Colors, yeah, everyone loves that, aka Sonic Rush 3, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Sega, what is it with you and fake sequels?
Well, that was they were responsible for that. Sega was just like,
I was just teasing. But...
Yeah, Sega was just like, okay, guys, Dimps, you take care of this. We know you got it. You did great with all your other games, which is another thing. Why do Dimps games always score so high? Why?
Dimps games, in terms of quality, like in comparison to Sonic teams, have turned into an X, sort of.
Yeah.
Like, they were much better games. Like, the Sonic Rush games were, like, the Sonic Advance games, Sonic Rush games.
Oh, yeah.
Were really good games, except for Sonic Advance 3.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I'm surprised that you agree with me. My favorite Advance game is actually Advance 2, but
Same.
yeah, most of my friends like Sonic Advance 3 the most.
Um, they're wrong. But
Yeah, it's we'll get into that another time, but
yeah, that's a whole can of worms that I could open
yeah,
up.
on the Salty the Hijab podcast, yeah.
Let's just rename it Salty the Hijab podcast.
But so, do you think that we will get Sonic Adventure 3 ever?
No.
No, really? Even for the 25th anniversary, or what about the 30th anniversary? I mean, it's never too late, is it?
I would say once Sega is so close to being fucking going belling under, they'll pull out Sonic Adventure 3 because they know it'll make a lot of money. I mean,
Are you sure about that?
I that's the only scenario I can possibly think about, unless you know something I don't know.
Well, the thing is, regardless of how the game is received, Sonic games always sell, except Sonic Boom.
Sonic Lost World didn't sell that well either, I don't think.
Well, that's just because it's on the Wii U. I hate to say it. I love the Wii U. It's my favorite console. I love Smash Bros. I love Mario Kart 8. There's more games. I even love Splatoon, but it's an underrated console, definitely. And Sonic Lost World got mediocre reviews, and of course everybody jumped to the conclusion that Sonic was back to being bad, just because it got in. I think IGN gave it a 5.8, and then of course Sonic Boom happened. Of course, I'm not going to hold it against Nintendo for that, but yeah, that I'm just glad that at least that came out on a console that a lot of people don't really have.
Yeah, no, but Sonic Boom was just another case of Sega mismanaging the shit out of it.
Oh yeah, hashtag AAA company, am I right?
Yeah, you mentioned that. It's just shocking how a AAA company like Sega has just fucked up so much, like ridiculously.
Yeah, but you also have to consider, if you take Sonic Boom out of the mix, did they really mess up?
Well,
Think about it.
Sonic 06, Sonic
Unleashed?
Shadow the Hedgehog.
I mean,
And
after 06. Everything
after
post
06.
Yes.
Well, even still, like Sonic Boom is literally Sonic 06 2.0. It's literally it's the same, and that's just I know it's just like, oh, it's just one strike, but it's a huge strike. Like
It is a huge strike. But what I'm saying is I'm giving that game the benefit of the doubt because Sega of Japan didn't actually create the game. It was only greenlit by Sega of America, and a completely different company created the game. It wasn't Sega themselves. They just gave it the okay.
okay,
That's
fair
what I'm
enough.
saying.
That's
what
fair
I'm saying.
enough. That's fair enough, but
The last true Sonic game was Sonic Lost World.
and that was 3 years ago. Can you believe that?
Oh my fucking god, you're right.
Okay, but Sonic Lost World, even I do not like that game at all.
I actually do. Like Sonic Unleashed, I think it got a lot of bad publicity just for a few things that it hiccuped on. I mean, okay, the Werehog is a huge deal. Either you hate it or you like it. I liked it, even though it got tedious at times. And as for Lost World, I like that it was they were trying something new. That's why I kind of had a problem with Colors, because I felt it was too much like they were playing it safe.
Well, okay, fair enough, but with Sonic Lost World, they did too much new stuff. Like, they
Yeah.
had, like, a billiard ball puzzle, they had, like, skydiving levels, they
Yes.
had, like, all these other levels, and then literally the bonus world is just what can we throw at the wall to see what sticks.
Yeah.
Like, there's a tornado level, there's, like, like, this Super Mario Galaxy level.
Yep.
I mean, the whole game is Super Mario Galaxy,
Yeah, what
but
they
anyway.
should have done, I think, there's nothing wrong with being experimental, but at least keep in mind, at least take the previous successes, Colors and Generations, and build off that. Don't just toss away what you've accomplished and start anew and take a
have
gamble.
a theme. Like, have a central focus to your game.
Exactly.
Like,
yes.
like, literally, Sonic Lost World is just the epitome of, okay, guys, we have a bunch of ideas. We don't know what we're going to do with them, but we're going to do something with them. And then it's literally just them, like, throwing shit at the wall, and then they're like, oh, okay, well, that didn't work, but we're just going to keep it in the game anyway.
Yep.
The game's not long. There's not much to it.
No.
It's like, there's 8 worlds. It's basically as long as a Genesis game, I'd say.
Right. Which is a shame.
Because this was very much a budget Sonic game, because like we've said before, Sega is poor, very poor. They had to relocate out of their San Francisco office and go somewhere else because they're that poor.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to kick Sega while they're down. It sounds a lot like it.
No,
but
you're just telling the truth. That's just how it is. It's
Yeah.
business.
yeah,
You can't deny the facts.
is business. But Sonic Lost World was very much made on a budget. Like that was trying to make a cost-effective Sonic game, because Sonic Generations to Sonic Unleashed, they're very tech-heavy games. Like the levels stretch for actual real-world miles.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think I've read in an interview or seen an interview. It was like Sonic is the Sonic Unleashed have levels that go for 5 to 6 miles, and that's
in real life.
In real life.
Wow.
So that's like really big, and that's just a level. So
Yes.
imagine having to make multiple levels like that.
Also, keep in mind, I'm going to go back to what I said about playing it safe. Not only is Sega on a tighter budget at this point in time, but it was also about playing it safe. I think they thought they were doing okay with Lost World. I think they thought they had something.
They thought wrong.
Yeah, I mean, really, they started it with Sonic Colors, and with Generations as well. They're playing it safe. Simple story, not taking itself seriously, because if there's a criticism of the story, they can just be like, yeah, well, I mean, it's not really taking itself seriously, so whatever you say, it doesn't fucking matter. The story's minimal. The game is fucking short. It's short as hell. And with Lost World, I think that's also why they brought back Wisps. But we'll talk about that another time. That's a whole
Yeah,
other
the Wisps
thing.
I think we're going to be a series staple from now on.
I hope fucking not.
I'm kind of mixed about that, because on one hand, some of the Wisps were really cool, and they like were really cool ways to like traverse levels. But then you have Wisp like Rhythm, where you tap the screen and he follows a path, and that's it. And it's just like, what the fuck?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Basically, yeah.
With Wisp, you just gotta have a really creative designer behind it, or else you just wind up with shitty Wisp powers that don't make any sense, and they're not fun, and I hate it.
Let's talk about that in episode 2 of Salty the Hijab.
Okay, we are treading very far from the topic.
Yes, but I mean, it all stems off from Sonic Adventure 3, because if there was a Sonic Adventure 3, would they add Wisps? It's a possibility. It's a possibility. Yeah.
They probably it would probably be like skill sets you have to buy in a shop or something, or have to unlock, like Chow Garden.
Oh, well, okay. I'm a bit neutral on Chow Gardens. While I liked them as a kid, I can look at them now, and they are very tedious. They can get boring. I think they were just popular at the time because virtual pets were kind of a new thing, like Tamagotchi. Neopets? No, Neopets probably came afterwards. Yeah, they had to have, because Sonic Adventure launched in 99 or 98, whatever you want to fucking call it. It's 99, it rounds up.
Yeah.
But, it was just popular in the late 90s, early 2000s. I'm glad they got rid of it, because in Sonic Adventure 2, it was required in order to, for 100% completion.
And Sonic Adventure 2 had the best 100% completion incentive out of any Sonic game ever.
I'll agree. Yes, I'll agree. Even though the game is very flawed, if you beat it, you seriously feel a sense of completion, an accomplishment. It's not like achievements nowadays. It actually felt like there was extra meat on the game that they put thought into. Sure, some of it was bullshit, like the carts and stuff, and finding the Chow, but beating the level in a certain time. I know Sonic Adventure did that too, but Sonic Adventure 2 built off of it and just made it so much better.
Yeah, and then they had the ranking system, and then
Yes.
Metal Harbor came along and basically raped you.
Yeah. I was actually able to get a rank A in every single stage except Green Hill.
Damn.
Uh-huh. I could only get a C in that, but I think I kind of gave up because that stage just sucked. It really wasn't worth the payoff.
Mm-hmm.
And neither was Metal Sonic in Sonic Adventure DX, but at least they added him, because in Sonic Adventure he wasn't there as an extra. You get all, I think, there was only 130 at the time. You get all 130 emblems, and there was nothing. They're just like, oh, you fucking beat the game. You can go brag to all those chicks at school now.
Oh my god, he got 100% on Sonic Adventure. God, I want to suck his dick.
I want to spread my legs. I just want to, like, spread my legs so you can, like, get inside of me. I always wanted to be fucked by a 13-year-old with acne that could beat Sonic Adventure to full completion. Ooh.
Jesus Christ.
Was a religious man. He was also very Jewish. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go there.
Just bringing the Jews in. Why not? I forget what we were even fucking talking about. Completion.
Sonic Adventure 3.
So yeah, Sonic Adventure had a really shitty 100% completion bonus, and then Sonic Adventure 2 had one of the best in the series. Like, then what came after, Sonic Heroes was like, oh, you can do hard mode now.
Hard mode.
And then Shadow the Hedgehog had an expert mode with additional dialogue, which I guess is okay.
Because you want to hear more swear words, right? Right. Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot to mention. The reason why Shadow the Hedgehog came about was because I believe a poll had a huge influence on it. Sega made a poll, I believe in 2003 or early 2004, and they asked, which character would you like to see have their own spin-off game? At the time, I voted for Tails because I've always been a huge fan of Tails. Knuckles would have been my second vote. At the time, I hated Shadow. I hated him. I thought he was just melodramatic, emo MySpace material. I mean,
yeah, I used to be a huge, well, I still am, but I was a huge fan of your dubs way back in the day, and I remember your Shadow MySpace jokes, and those cracked me the fuck up.
Shadow, I love MySpace. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I might have to be a little bit louder so my microphone can fucking pick me up.
Yeah, no,
MySpace. I love you, Tom. Yeah.
Yeah.
That took me so far back.
Yeah.
That was like a fucking time machine, but
Way back machine.
Yeah, way back machine, but enough blowing smoke up the ass. I wasn't a Sonic fan in 2003, or at least an active one, I don't think.
Oh, really?
I was like, I love Sonic. He's blue. Yeah. And that was about the extent of it. And then I was like, hey, Mom, I want Shadow the Hedgehog.
Was that
And,
your first game?
No, my first game was Sonic on Genesis, like the actual Genesis.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. No, that was my... I had Sonic Heroes, and then I was like, I want Shadow the Hedgehog. He has guns, and it's evil and stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
no. So what was your first new game?
Probably Sonic Heroes, I want to say.
Okay.
Maybe one of the adventure games. I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
Maybe I'm further back than I think.
Maybe.
But yeah. I do remember getting a GameCube, and then I was like, I want Sonic Heroes, and then I played Wind Waker, and I was like, what the fuck is this bullshit? And then I gave it to my third grade teacher.
What?
Yeah, I gave Wind Waker to my third grade teacher.
What the fuck? Really?
I did not like it. I thought it was dumb, so I just gave it away. But I like Sonic Heroes, so that kind of goes to show what my taste was as a kid.
Why your teacher? You're just trying to get rid of it, and you're like, I don't know who to give this to. And you just bring it to school, and you see your teacher.
Well, he likes Zelda. I asked him. I was like, do you like Zelda? And he's like, yeah. And he goes, here you go.
Oh.
It's yours now.
Wow. Did he did he return the favor?
Wow.
I'm sorry.
You bastard.
No, I mean, did he buy you a game in return?
Oh, no. No, he didn't. He didn't even give me a homework pass or anything. He just
wow, what an ass.
Yeah, I give him Wind Waker, and he didn't give me jack shit.
Wow, you should give him syphilis next.
I'll think about it. He's halfway across the country now because I moved. So.
Oh, good. You don't want to be next to someone like that, really. So anyway, we were saying, you got into Sonic during the GameCube era, then, right?
I played Sonic since I was a little kid, but then I kind of had a lull where I just didn't pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
And then around 2003 or 4, I was like, Sonic, and then I've been a fan ever since.
Okay.
I've been a fan of that blue bastard for over 13 years.
I've been a fan of him since January-ish 1994. So.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
20 years of your life.
More than that. 22.
22 years of your life to the blue bastard.
Yep. Exactly. Uh-huh. But I guess I could say at the time, his games were considered good.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, my first game was Sonic 2, so it left a big impression on me. But anyway, I just want to say, around the GameCube era, late Dreamcast era, that's when the Sonic franchise, or at least within Sega, they felt darker stories were more mature, regardless of how serious the game took itself or not.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just the catalyst to Sonic 06. It was the catalyst. Sonic 06 became what it was because of the feedback that Sonic Adventure 2 received. And then, of course, Shadow the Hedgehog was also directly influenced by that. And that was also in development at the time, or at least during its tail end of development, as Sonic 06.
Yeah.
So it was all just downhill from there. And
Yeah.
I honestly don't think we're going to reach that territory. We're going to touch that I don't think we're going to touch that territory ever again. I think Sega, like I said, they're all about playing it safe now. They know how bad Shadow was received and how bad 06 was received. And I think they're going to look at Sonic Boom and never do that again either. But, of course, you can say, oh, well, Fire and Ice. Yeah, well, I think that was part of some sort of contract.
Well, Sonic Boom, Fire and Ice showed more promise than the console version ever did, because that was made by Sanzaru Games, who did Sly 4. And
Yeah.
Sly 4 is a really kind of contention point with Sly fans, but I thought it was good. I thought it was the game design was very solid. So that what they had going was a Metroidvania Sonic, which I think I wouldn't have minded. But the problem was how they halted level progression, which was you have to collect basically everything in the level to proceed.
Yeah.
And they also said they were rushed too by Sega. So now this new game is they're reusing assets. They have something to build off of, and they're going to be building up bases and everything. So I think Sonic Boom Fire and Ice, while it won't be anything too special, I think it'll be at least competent, and it will be a decent game.
Personally, I think it's going to be another shit show. Not to sound pessimistic or anything. I'm just trying to be real because it's based off of my impression of the demo of the first one, Shattered Crystal. I played it and I hated it. It was awful. It's not. I know it's supposed to be a different franchise, but even as a different franchise on its own, the game was not that good. Sure, I guess it's better than Rise of Lyric, but that's not really saying much.
Yeah, no, but I was gonna say about your pessimism comment was why would you be a Sonic fan and not be pessimistic about basically everything now?
Ooh, yeah. Cynical the Hedgehog. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just basically battered housewives to a drug abusive husband. That is Sonic.
How fucking dare you criticize my games, bitch!
I'm sorry. Please don't.
You bitch! Bitch!
Oh, this bruise is shaped like tails.
Salty the hijab.
What a delightful podcast.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
but
we're great.
no, but I'm trying to think. Well, I guess what you do say has some merit. If you don't like the Metroidvania style Sonic thing, then I guess that's completely understandable because it does have some kind of basic design too, and but I feel like I'm not saying it's going to be Fire and Ice is going to be great. I'm just saying it's going to be better.
Probably. Just
marginally.
on IGN's meter, it'll probably be 5 points higher than the previous one. Just realistically, yeah, because I know they're going to shit all over it. I know they are.
Who gives a shit about IGN's meter, though? Like, they said the Sonic Unleashed Wii version was better than the HD one. Like, seriously.
Well, Sega cares about it because it is they're one of, if not the biggest game reviewers out there. They're one of the most famous, and they have a huge influence on people's opinions on the game. Because, there's a ton of sheeple out there. IGN says something, everyone else is going to parrot the same exact thing.
Devil's advocate, though.
And that's why Sonic Unleashed gets shit on so much, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, but I'm going to play devil's advocate and say whenever there's a bad IGN review, Sonic fans are always there.
Yeah.
To get pissed.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, even with...
So it kind of balances out a little bit.
Even with Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, the review on that, too much water, people make fun of that. But, of course, people are like, yeah, this Sonic game sucks. I think a bunch of people just love to bandwagon it. A lot of games, sure, most of the games that receive low scores, I believe, deserve them. But there are a select few that I think did not deserve scores that low. Sonic 06, I believe, deserved a much lower score than Sonic Unleashed.
There was a website that gave it an 8 when it came out.
The HD version? 360 and PS3?
Of Sonic 06.
Yeah. And I remember, I think they went back and changed it.
Yeah, and they made it a 5.
Yeah, I forget which one that was, but yes, I remember that. I definitely remember that. That was really something. But anyway, I believe that pretty much concludes our podcast for Salty the Hijab. I should probably stop saying Salty because so,
Salty the Hedgehog.
Yeah. So do you have any closing comments about it?
I'm sorry, everybody, that Sonic Adventure 3 was bad. Maybe someday you'll get the Sonic game you deserve. But that day is not today.
And my closing comment is, I'm sorry that there's yet another video talking about how bad Sonic 06 is. But hey, at least we're not trying to just be like, oh, it's a bad game. We're actually trying to discuss why it's a bad game, what they should do to avoid the situation, why it was the way it was. Pretty much we were trying to go in depth. That's really.
To the best of our ability, even though we did get sidetracked a lot.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, of course, that'll happen, but it's just extra fluff for people who are listening, all 24 of you who are listening. Yeah.
We love you all.
We love all of you, except for
for you, Silver.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Silver. Just kidding. We love you too. Okay.
All right. So, my name is MugiMikey.
And I'm Nolan.
Nolan of
Pizza Party Podcast.
Yeah, that's right. And it's okay. It's okay. The link to our channels are in the description.
Yep.
And if you would like to hear more of what we have to say, then stay tuned, okay?
All right. Sounds good.
All right. We'll catch all of you salt cubes later.
Bye-bye.
See ya!